Jerry with 127 metres and Joe Greenwood with 49 tackles. For Leeds, Ash Handley with a try and 182 metres. Brad Dwyer with a try assist, 45 tackles. Liam Sutcliffe with a try assist, 132. And Jack Broadbent with 135 metres.
Fat Boy Rob starts things off with a little bit of "we came out when that drop goal went over. Laughing face times a million. Hashtag Agar in."
Dr. Bob Phillips says, pretty rubbish display with a deserved outcome. More kicking practice required might be the strapline of the 2021 season.
Big shout out to Bob, though. I messaged Bob about something that on Friday night, one of my friends' kids has had some sort of worrying news, and Dr. Bob's such a great guy. He's always there to, give honest and an upfront commentary on things when you need it, medical-wise. He's a legend. I love the man.
Well, he's, you don't become the listener's listener so often, do you? Exactly. For no reason.
And Mark W. said, first half was entertaining, second half was awful, but thank Christ we learned thank Christ we learned to kick drop goals in the off-season. Neither team looked up to much, but we probably deserved the win on balance with some harsh disallowed tries against us, not including the Edwards brain fart that very nearly cost us the game.
I can't say I've seen the Edwards brain fart.
No, so. I've seen some of the no try calls.
Yes. Was Josh Jones given offside? Is that what it was?
Yeah. Yeah. Which we have to sort of go with.
Yeah, we have to assume it's right. Yeah.
Mark maybe got to see more replays on the R-League coverage than we did, but it was hard to tell, on that sort of limited 2 or 3 camera kind of, I think they have 4 cameras, don't they, for these games. It's difficult to tell, but so you have to go with the match officials, but it did seem close.
Yeah, but I mean, I
unless
definitely...
it was what's his chops. What's his face in the centre? McQueen. Unless it was McQueen who was offside, then it would have been, because we couldn't see that from the camera angle. Whereas Jones looked borderline.
I don't know.
Anyway,
we'll assume it's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the right result for us anti-Leeds fans. Yeah, you have to say neither team is looking brilliant, but looking at it from a positive point of view, this was cool execution from the Giants, and you can count on no hands how many times you said that over the last kind of 12, 18 months.
Well, the headline is Huddersfield win close game against...
Yes.
against a team that they lost close games to last year, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it was... multiple drop goals. Yeah, gotta love that. But to be fair, there was some good attacking play as well. I thought both Caesar's second try and Ash Hanley's try they were very similar to each other in many ways, but they were both very good play as well.
I was tossing up between those two for my sort of highlight of the week, best try of the week.
See, I had Caesar written down, and then I, whilst I was watching the highlights, and then I saw Handley's, and I thought, well, that's exactly the same.
Yeah.
So I can't really pick one out over the other one.
No.
But yeah, I've kind of marked it that's kind of a nice metaphor for how close the game actually seemed to be. But yeah, obviously it all came down to the last 10 minutes, and was it? I assume it was three shots at drop goal, three successful attempts. We didn't see any other misses.
No, I haven't. Yeah, there was some misses.
Right, okay.
Sutcliffe had a couple of goes for Leeds that we didn't see, okay. I think, and Caesar had a go from for Huddersfield. That his one that he did score looked like it hit it so sweetly, and kind of they weren't expecting it. They obviously thought they were going to try and go for a try to get the win, rather than a drop goal that would potentially at that point of the game at least give them a shot of extra golden point extra time. Yeah, but because he didn't really send it high, unlike Sutcliffe's, which was ludicrous.
Yeah.
Like he basically put a bomb up and it managed to land on the crossbar and go through.
But I have to say for the winning drop goal, there's definitely something about having two viable threats for drop goals, because that play to throw it to your first choice and then swing it back to your kind of second choice, it always gives that player a lot more time. Because naturally you're gonna pursue the first, your first threat, aren't you? So I know Bradford have done that with Brough and Lily this year, and yeah, it was good to see that after much criticism, much of it deserved, that his name's gone from my head.
Caesar Gaskell.
No, Gaskell. Thank you. Gaskell actually, he got on the points, didn't he? So.
It did, but I think Caesar's the man to talk about as much as anyone from this game. And it seems like he's found his groove again. He got both the tries, very different tries, but one good support play back up the inside, and one kind of him taking charge of it himself and dummying and sneaking through. His goal kicking was fairly on point, and he also slotted that drop goal, and had the calmness to set up Gaskell for his drop goal as well, that won it on the hooter. So I think that's the most pleasing thing surely for Huddersfield fans, in the wake of rumours that is being looked at for an NRL return. He's found his form again.
Well, if they can keep up this form, they'll be most happy. But yeah, it's good. As you say, it was good. It's good they can get a close win for once.
Yeah, but that puts them like 2 wins from safety or whatever. So
yeah, it literally does. Yeah.
I haven't got anything more on that one. Have you?
No, just as Rob said, it's very funny.
Actually, I do have one more thing. Clearly, I was wrong because Cruz Leeming wasn't the answer to play halfback for Leeds, because they did play him and Dwyer from the start in this game, and Leeming actually looked a bit weak defensively, stood out there in the halfback position, whereas I guess a bit more exposed to people running different lines compared to when he's in the middle and kind of making the run-in for the tackles. But yeah.
Got problems.
Standings. Do you want to take us through the standings?
Yep. So Saints and Wigan are the top two, both with 100% records after 5 rounds. Cass and Catalan make up the top 4 with 80% records. Then Hull FC and Warrington complete the top 6 with their draw, both giving them 70%. Then there's a drop to Hull KR in 7th with 40%. And then 1 win, Huddersfield, Leeds and Salford are next. And winless, Wakefield and Lee are the bottom 2.
Stat line of the week.
I've gone somebody going both ways. I've gone for Luke Yates, 52 tackles, 10 markers, 128 metres. That's a good statistical effort.
Yeah, I'm not going for Gellings plus 200 metres, so I concur. A both ways effort is deserving of it. Or Ollie Holmes' 20 marker tackles was also a good number to call out.
Yes, I would agree with that one. Who's your player of the week?
I'm going to go Tom Davies. I think his hat-trick, they were all really tight finishes. And I think sometimes I've questioned his finishing. His effort's always been there. His meter-making's always been there. I've sometimes questioned his finishing, but these were nice, flourishing, diving wingers finishes. So Tom Davies for me.
Yeah, I can't disagree. That's what I had too.
All right, okay, fair enough.
Let's hope we've picked different highlights of the week.
Well, you pick which one of those 2 tries we just talked about, and then I'll pick the other.
All right, well, I'm going to go with my first instinct and stick with Caesar's second try.
So I'll say Hadley's try. But two flowing long-range efforts in that final game that were impressive to see.
To be fair, Jake Truman's try in the Cass game was also kind of classic keeping the ball alive type try. So yeah, that's probably an honourable mention as well.
Yep, for sure. Into the predictions, Super Brew, but not Fantasy League, because that's fucked up again. So, predictions, I went 6 out of 6 in terms of winners last week. Sarah went 4 out of 6. In the host Super Brew, though, Alan, you go top.
Whee!
David moves into second, with Sarah dropping to third, and Tim rises to fourth. I go bottom because I forgot to do my picks until Rob texted me about 10 minutes before the Cast Salford game kicked off to tell me I'd not done my picks. So all those correct picks that I've just wasted.
So what does it automatically pick the home side? I can't remember.
I can't remember either, but I certainly know that I didn't pick up any points from the two games, the Leeds and the Saints and the league game, the Saints league game and the Catalans
Devastating
win over Wakey. So yeah. So I'm bottom now, even though it was perfect. Super Brew, the main Super Brew, the more important Super Brew, Craig the Expat Cast fan stays top. Alan, though, you've got the yellow cap in that, so good week for you in the tipping.
I legit can't remember. I think it was slightly random, my picking, which just proves that I know absolutely nothing about rugby league.
That's why we're fans and not pundits.
Exactly, yeah.
When people say, do you not have a media pass? No, they don't let fucking crackpots like us have media passes. The Fantasy League, I just don't think the stats are right because it's missing the Wakefield Catalans game, and Liam Watts and Liam Farrell both only had 10 points when both went well over 100 metres as well as getting tries. So, yeah, that's a load of bollocks this week so far. So it wasn't right at time of recording, I'm afraid. But I'm sure Mark Moore and Alan Bagley will be battling it out, though.
Probably.
Thanks for everyone getting their fan views in on all those games. Please do get your fan views in on next week's games, which of course we will get to see all of them on television, the main games from the Challenge Cup. There'll also be a game from the Women's Challenge Cup online somewhere, I'm assuming, as well as whatever championship action you pay to see. So and the NRL games on Sky. So we've got plenty of fan games for you to get your fan views in on next week. Let's move on now to other results.
So we move into other results and we start with round 4 of the championship. Some interesting games this weekend. Perhaps the biggest shock was this first game. It finished Oldham 16, Halifax 12, and Dr. Hideous was watching this one.
Yeah, he said 14 minutes with no break before the first stoppage, a minor leg injury for Greg Worthington. I reckon he faked it so he could have a breather. An early Oldham try in the second half brought them close to making it 10-12, and then there it stayed despite constant Oldham pressure for 30 minutes until a try on 76 sealed the win. Great performance from Oldham and my man of the match, Dec Gregory, a tiny lad who's done the work of 2 full-size players.
And then it was Sheffield 20, London 20 in yet another draw.
We picked the right game of the week, didn't we?
Good one, yeah.
Dave got in touch again, Dr. Hideous. He said, great game. Broncos made more ground early on, but couldn't turn that into points despite camping on Sheffield's line. Sheffield didn't get much ball, but made it count every time. In the second half, Sheffield benefited from silly London errors and were 2 ahead on 79 minutes when they gave away an easy kickable equalising penalty. Hankinson was my man of the match for setting up all the tries in Miskie's hat-trick.
In other results, it was Newcastle 16, Batley 28. Batley going well. Another team turning it round. It was finished Whitehaven 22, Bradford 30. Who'd have thought that after week 1?
Honestly, what's happened? Have they sorted out the team selection? Because that was one of the problems, I think, early doors. Brown at fullback, to me, isn't where he should be playing. He should be romping up the wing. No,
well, Pickersgill back at fullback is a massive advantage for us. He kind of, it feels like we've got a settled spine now. So that helps. And to be fair, Sheffield can do that to teams. Sheffield can hit a team sometimes, and we just didn't play well. From what I've seen of our game, I saw all of or the game against Dewsbury the week before, and we were just always in control against Dewsbury. We never looked like we were going to give it away, and obviously another good win. Tough game away at Whitehaven. Another team pleased with their comeback, it'll be Widnes. They won 46 against 10 for Swinton.
Yeah, it's getting a bit worrying for Swinton.